Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to complete the last point of holozoic nutrition, and that is assimilation. Before assimilation we have read about digestion and then absorption. Now the next step is assimilation. What is mean by assimilation? It is the transport and utilization of absorbed food is known as assimilation. Now what does it mean? If you do remember, in the previous lecture we have done that digested food absorbed in the villi, and here I magnify one of the villas for you. So what happened? I told you that amino acids and glucose absorb in the blood capillaries, okay, and fatty acid and glycerol they absorb here in the lacteals. So many villi are present here side by side. So from all these villi food is going to absorb. Then from here, when capillaries they are moving, so all these capillaries and they will combine and they will make a big blood vessel like this. Here they have shown you here in the diagram. So here they have made a section of small intestine. Then different vessels they are combining from this small intestine, and they are making small blood vessels, and these small blood vessels they combine and they make a main large vessel which is called hepatic portal vein. Okay, what is mean by this vein? If you do remember, here I told you that here are the arteries. From arteries capillaries are formed. This red vessel is the capillary. Then this capillary, when these capillaries, here I told you that artery divide into arterioles, arterioles into small capillaries, capillaries combined they make venules which make vein, and vein ultimately venules make vein. So same is happening here. These capillaries they are combining, they are making venules, and then these making small vessels called veins, and ultimately they are making a large vessel which is called hepatic portal vein. Hepatic, anything which is related to liver is called hepatic. Okay, so in this way, through this hepatic portal vein, first of all sugar, or the basic component of sugar is, you already know, glucose. So glucose will reach to liver. Okay, so what happened, that glucose will reach to liver. So through this hepatic portal vein, what is going to happen with the glucose? First of all, some of the glucose which is reached here in the liver, and it will utilize in the process of respiration to release energy and to keep body warm, or it will utilize in many activities of the body. And extra, where it is going here, this one is called hepatic portal vein, and this one which is moving away from the liver is called hepatic vein. Portal, you already know, from porter, which is taking any material, taking anything. So as this vein is going toward liver, so it is called hepatic portal vein, and when it leaves the liver it is called hepatic vein. Okay, and in hepatic vein the right amount of glucose which is according to the body requirement will go, and it will reach to all cells of the body. And extra glucose, what is going to happen here? Some will utilize in respiration to release energy. Then extra glucose will convert into glycogen. What is glycogen? As you know, in case of plant, glucose combine and make starch. But in case of animal, this glycogen is called animal carbohydrates. So this glucose convert into glycogen and it's stored in the liver. There is also a hormone is released from the pancreas which is called insulin. This insulin convert extra glucose into glycogen, and at the time of requirement, when there is a deficiency of glucose in our body, or when we are doing any hectic work or we are doing any strenuous exercise, so at that time our body need glucose or our body need energy. So at that time this glycogen will convert back into the glucose, and that glucose will go into the hepatic vein, then it will go to the cells and it will utilize by the body to respire and to release energy for the activities of the body. Okay, so this is what happened with the glucose into the process of assimilation in the liver. Okay, then what is going to happen with the amino acid? Here we discussed that glucose, amino acids all are absorbing into the villi. So what is going to happen with the amino acids? And you already know glucose is the basic component of carbohydrates, and amino acid is the basic component of protein. Okay, now this amino acid will convert into many other proteins which are needed to our body. For example, it will convert into fibrinogen. What is fibrinogen? Fibrinogen is a protein which is present in our blood, or it helps in blood clotting. Okay, so it convert into fibrinogen. In the same way, many enzymes in our body, they are made up of protein. Many hormones in our body made up of protein, so it utilized in the formation of those. It also utilized in the formation of new protoplasm, new cells. Okay, so this amino acids, they are utilized in all these. One more function is that extra amino acids, some amino acids also go into the hepatic vein and go to different cells and tissues. Extra amino acids, they are broken down. There another process take place which is called deamination. D mean without, ami or ammonia mean removal of ammonia. When you were studying in the previous chapter, so at that time you studied that protein having a special element in it which is called nitrogen. So that ammonia is basically for nitrogen. So deamination is removal of that ammonia or that nitrogen from the protein. So what happened in deamination? In deamination, extra amino acids, they break down and they convert into urea. Okay, which is a waste product which removes out from our body. Okay, now this happened with the amino acid. Okay, next what is going to happen with the fats? I told you that fats absorb into lacteals. What is lacteal? I also explained you that here accessory material, extra material will go into another type of vessel which is called lymph vessel, and material inside this lymph vessel, this colorless material is called lymph, and which ultimately become the part of our venous blood. It enters in our bloodstream. Okay, so in this way fats will also absorb in these and it will become the part of our blood. So what happened here? What happens? Fats, they are absorbed into the lacteals, and there along with the colorless fluid, it combines and it make a milky fluid which is called chyle. Okay, then ultimately it will enter into the bloodstream, and when it will enter into the bloodstream, it will ultimately reach into the liver. Okay, so it will also reach here into the liver, and what will happen normally whenever our body need energy? So first of all, glucose is the first and foremost available source which is used for production of energy. If there is a deficiency of glucose, glycogen will convert into glucose. But if we are having fast and our body is deficient in glucose or glycogen, then fats will break down and they will release energy. Secondly, it will, along with bloodstream, it will go to different cells and tissues, and it will reach in different parts, and first of all it stores under our skin. Okay, so under our skin a layer of fat is present which is called adipose layer. The function of this layer is that it is acting just like an insulator. It prevent release of heat from our body. Okay, so it also protect us from the cold which is outside in the winter season. So this fatty layer under our skin, it is protecting us and acting as an insulator. So it also accumulate around our different vital organs, around heart, kidneys, and it protect them. So in this way, it is a fatty layer which is deposited in all those areas. Okay, then in this way the process of assimilation take place, and you already know that undigested food is removed from our body. In this way the process of digestion will completes. Okay, one very important thing which is left, that I told you in the previous lecture about liver, that liver is an accessory digestive gland. Okay, I told you here that liver is helping in the process of digestion and also in assimilation. So here you have read about the assimilatory role of the liver. So what are its functions? So liver is not just performing these two roles, it is also performing many vital roles for our body. So first of all, it's a very important role in the process of digestion. So what is that role? Is that it secretes bile. I told you that it secretes a secretion which is called bile, which accumulates here in the gallbladder. Then it comes here in the duodenum. Its function is to make the food alkaline. And secondly, it emulsifies fats. Emulsifies mean convert large fat molecules into small droplets of fats, so which can be digested easily or can be broken down easily by lipase. Okay, so in this way it is helping in the digestion of fats. Secondly, again I told you that it is controlling blood glucose concentration. So as I told you here, when after digestion, when after taking meal, digestion will take place and food will go into the liver. So what happen here? Extra glucose will convert into glycogen and it will store in the liver. Okay, and when our body need glucose at the time of exercise, if we are doing anything, so at that time that glucose will convert into glycogen. So this insulin is helping to convert glucose. This insulin basically is secreted by pancreas. Okay, this insulin secreted in the pancreas, along with blood circulation, it goes into the liver and it convert extra glucose into glycogen. Okay, and if our body need energy, for example, at that time another hormone is released in our blood which is called adrenaline. Okay, this adrenaline is released at the time of emergency, when we have to overcome on our emotions, or we have to run, or we have to participate in a fight or anything. Our body need more energy, so at that time our body need to convert glycogen into glucose to release energy and to utilize that energy. Okay, so this conversion of glycogen into glucose is also done by another hormone which is called glucagon. Okay, we also study this into the in the next chapter. Okay, so this is one of the major role of liver, that it is maintaining proper glucose level in our blood. Okay, many other functions of the liver, as here they are mentioned in the note, that protein synthesis. I told you here that amino acids, they convert into fibrinogen and they also convert into other types of protein, for example albumin, globulin. So many such proteins, they are formed from these amino acids. Then iron storage. What is mean by iron storage? We also read about red blood cell in the first chapter. So what happen? Red blood cells, they are present in our blood, and the color of our blood is red due to these red blood cells. These red blood cells, they have their age limit 120 days. After 120 days, these red blood cells, they break down, and what happens? There extra iron store in the liver. Okay, for the formation of new blood cells or formation of other body requirements. So this iron is stored. So one of the function of the liver, that it stores iron. So you already know, whenever a patient pass through any surgical procedure, doctor used to say them that use liver. Why they used to say them take liver in their food? Because liver contain a high content of iron, and iron help in the formation of new red blood cells. Okay. Liver doesn't mean that human liver they used to take. They used to say that take the liver of any animal in their food, so which will help in the formation of different types of deficiencies. It will help in to overcome, and it will help in the formation of new red blood cells. Okay. Then one more very important role is detoxification. What is mean by detoxification? We are taking different types of food material. We use different types of food, like containing different types of chemicals in them, containing different types of dyes in them. Different preserving materials are present in the food when we are taking different food from different types of canes. So what happens, and we are also taking different types of medicines. So one of the function of the liver is to convert those harmful compound into the harmless compound. Okay. So this is called detoxification. Even those people who are taking alcohol, so liver also break down that alcohol. So sometime if someone is taking much alcohol, so what happen, it damages liver. Okay. One more very important function is, as I told you, that so many activities are taking place in the liver. So liver itself need energy. So respiration is taking place in the liver, and much energy is released. So that energy is in the form of heat that is utilized in different activities of the liver, and also this heat is transported into the whole body with this blood, due to which our body temperature is constant. Okay. So the last function of the liver is deamination, which I already told you, that conversion of amino acids into urea. So what happen in deamination? In deamination, amino acids they break down, and this amino group is converted into urea, and it is removed from our body in the process of excretion. Some of the amino acids, when they break down, ammonia is removed. Remaining material combine with carbon residues, and it convert into glucose, and it's stored in the liver in the form of glycogen. In this way, liver is performing many vital roles in our body, and it has very vital role in our body. Okay. Now bete, our chapter is finished. In the next video I will explain you the questions. I hope you have done question number 1. It's 2 parts. For part 1 I have already explained in the previous video, and this part 2 is part C is also very important, and it is very easy. So you have to complete these 2, and inshallah in the next video I'll explain the other questions. And this chapter was in our syllabus of June. Now it is finished, and in the next week we'll complete this exercise, and if there is any problem you can ask me. Okay. Wish you all the best. Allah Hafiz.